These are the 25 creepiest facts in GTA 5, and I searched hours to find the most unknown facts, so if you know more than 10, you're a certified nerd. Number 1. There's a bunker underwater that something lives in. Sail or fly to the end of the map, your vehicle will be destroyed and then a shark attacks you. Next to the observatory you can find trash on the floor, and one of the newspapers says coastline under threat. But it doesn't stop there. If you go inside a barber shop you can find a photo of Los Santos being overtaken by huge waves. This house seems pretty normal, but the story that lurks behind it is extremely creepy, sad. First obvious clue is on the wall. It has the numbers 1807 with an arrow pointing to the left. When you follow the arrow you get brought to this house, and this house represents a house of a victim from the famous Mason family. Now before I explain how they are connected, let me quickly tell you what this family is all about. The Mason family was a group of people led by Charles Mason. They committed a series of murders in Los Angeles, including the death of a pregnant actress named Sharon Tate. The 18 within the number represents the average number of members in the Mason family, and the 7 represents how many murders Charles Mason was convicted for in real life. And here's the house in the game, and here's Sharon Tate's old house in real life. The last creepy thing about this house is the people in the backyard don't act normal. When you bump into them they instantly die, and everybody else gets scared. Moving on, there's a message that says ain't no mystery they drowned her because of what she knew. Body could be found underwater at this location. In the mountains there is a cult called the Ultrist cult. These are older men that believe in survival of the fittest. Some walk around naked, and oh yeah, they're cannibals. And in the story mode Trevor even has the option to bring them sacrifice, aka people. Most people know about mineshaft. Within the lightless tunnel you can find a body. It goes super deep within multiple turns. What's even less people know is that the body is actually connected to a secret mission at one of Solomon's missions. You have to read a letter that is on Solomon's desk, wrote by the murderer Fred Quincy. Write about some mistakes he made, including dumping someone in the mine. That somebody is a man you find in the mine shaft. The graveyard has multiple secrets, and if you come during the day you can find a dog who visits their deceased owner every day and just sits by it. Now there's actually a true story that's called the Grace Ferrer's Bobby, and for 14 years the dog protected its owner's grave until it sadly died. At this location you can find an oddly large bugs. Most people believe that this is a mistake, however others think that this is actually part of a mutation disease. Furthermore, this one isn't creepy but actually quite sad and humbling. In the graveyard you can find a bench that reads the memory of Chris Edwards. Chris Edwards was actually a Rockstar Games employee who sadly passed away in 2014. He worked on 5 different GTA projects starting in 2005 and his last one in 2013. Rest in peace to Chris Edwards. Now there's actually a house that bleeds when you shoot it. No one is actually sure if this is an Easter egg or the developers actually made a mistake. Back in the day you could come to this location and you could actually see an image of the Breaking Bad's Jesse Pinkman. However, once GTA 5 came out on the new generation consoles, it was switched to a rooster. Now don't get me wrong, this is quite funny, but it's actually just a little bit creepy. What motivated Rockstar to turn Jesse Pinkman into a rooster? Most people should know about the ghost on the hill, and if you don't, you've probably been living under a boulder. But if you open up your phone and type in Lenora Johnson and click on the website, it will actually tell you about this girl who became a ghost. Going into even further detail, on another website called Accept the Chaos there is a photo of a family, but when you press on the button it shows a photo of them in a car crash, which I'm blurring out because it's pretty graphic. The dog in the photo is also part of the aftermath, and following the same story, when Franklin finds a guy in a tree who went skydiving, he was led there by a dog. And once Franklin told the guy that the dog saved his life.
That's a cool ass dog you got, homie. What dog? That dog.
In the water you can find a skeleton, but not just any skeleton. One belongs to a huge sea monster. The size of this is roughly 40 feet long. Now if it had skin and everything else, it would probably be even bigger. Now the sewer is a very mysterious place, and some people believe there's something called the Rat Man living in it. Even though the Rat Man is never directly mentioned or shown, there is in fact something that is living down there deep in the sewer. You can actually hear heartbeats, never changes rhythm and stays consistent. When you complete 100% of your story mode, you can go to the top of Mount Chiliad and the UFO will spawn in, and this is linked to the Mount Chiliad mural at the Blaine County Motel. Is probably one of the most scary locations. When you visit at night, you can hear footsteps that aren't yours, laughing and even screaming for some reason. There seems to be a lot of wildlife in this area. This is done on purpose. Large content creators falsely led their audience into believing that there were killer clowns that danced around fires at night. However, these videos used mods and have been proven false. However, Rockstar have taken this into their own hands and they've actually started spawning locations of a bunch of different animals in this area when players check to see if there's anything paranormal. Instead of getting a jump scare by a clown, they're actually getting jump scared by pigs. At this location you can find a cave with a lit fire and a skull. No one knows why it's here, but it belongs to the Ultra-Rich cult. Now this house doesn't bleed like the other one, but if you come here at night, you can look into the windows and you'll be able to see blood. It's possible there's another house bleeding and it's a glitch, but the bloodstain's already there, meaning they got implemented for some reason. Some people believe that this could be one of the most scariest houses. Others report that they have seen this house on fire at night, as well as hearing screaming coming from within the house. These haven't been proven, but when I investigated it for myself, I actually found some very odd things, and I noticed a design that kind of looked like a face. I've never seen anything similar. In fact, this house is quite creepy. Now, the Illuminati Eye, find it on 2 posters in Lester's house, Franklin's original house, and also it's one of the most largest car company logos that the game has. If you know any more, let me know in those comments. The very first mission in GTA 5 is back in North Yankton. In 2013, after the game's release, players started to notice some suspicious frozen things. There was a frozen alien, and fun fact, this was the first Easter egg. Back to the ocean, you can find a sunken plane, and this section of the ocean is known as the Bermuda Triangle because in real life, Triangle is known for one of the most mysterious disappearances. This 25th fact is extremely creepy and by far the most scary in GTA 5. The Infinity 8 Killer is a guy who left behind multiple messages that prove he killed people and even tells us where he left his victims. Now this is going to be the next video here on Grog Games, so watch out for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.